want to thank Jacob Frese for joining us today. Jacob is an entrepreneur here in Northwest Arkansas. Jacob, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me on today.
Jacob, I don't think there's anything new happening in our landscape or our environment right now that you can think of, is there?
No, it's just crazy times right now. That's for sure.
It's not business as usual, right? Things have changed. So I know you a little bit. I've gotten to work with you on some things, and you've always impressed me. One reason I want to talk to you is because you're the true definition to me of an entrepreneur, which is someone that's figuring things out. They're pivoting when they need to. They're solutions oriented. For me personally, I feel like we're kindred spirits in that way. I've been an entrepreneur for most of my life. I usually, if my back's against the wall, I can think of 5 or 10 things, and I usually perform better that way. This has been a little bit different. This has seemed for many businesses like they've had the foundations just kicked right out from under them, and I see a lot of entrepreneurs beyond scrambling, just trying to figure things out because they've been so disrupted. So I want you to take a few minutes, kind of tell us about what your business is. Give us a little background if you want, but just so we know you a little bit better. And then I want to just take a few minutes and just talk through, what does a business owner do right now? What are you doing to find some solutions?
Yeah, well, Barnett's Dairyette is in Siloam Springs. It's been around since 1957. I'm the third owner. I've owned it for over 3 years now. And it is just a classic burger, fry, and shake place. We have a very simple menu, but we get rave reviews for our burgers, fries, and shakes. And it's been tough for us, especially because we don't have a drive-through. Of course, with social distancing, the state is, the country is basically shut down dining room options. And so that's been really tough for us. So we've been pushing curbside service. We have had the ability to text in orders for quite some time because we have a cell phone as our company phone instead of a landline. And so we've been able to utilize that and push that. That's been good because it's something we've wanted to really push anyways. And so the customers have really taken to that. Of course, call-in orders as well for people that aren't comfortable texting. But the text option has really been awesome because, for me, so I eat at my own restaurant as well, and I don't always have time to just pop in and say hi. So I just copy and paste my order from a previous time that I've texted, and it works out really well. So I'm kind of a creature of habit, so I usually eat the same thing every time.
So you're eating well. You continue to eat well because you've got your favorite food on speed dial, and it's your restaurant.
Yes, exactly.
So I want to go into more solutions in a minute, but so 1957, this restaurant opens. I've been there. I've seen it. I love it. It's a landmark in your town. So, some of our listeners, this is on the radio, but some of our listeners are in other countries and other parts of that it's going to go out on the podcast and on the Alexa skill. It's this awesome restaurant. When you see it right away, you feel like you're going back in time. It's that diner look. He even came back in and got the sign fixed, so it's got that neon light to it, that bzz, bzz look to it. It's really cool. Yeah. It is right out of a movie set. And it's right near a university. So let's paint the picture. It's the time of year when it's getting warmer out. It's a great time for that car hop, kind of going to this kind of restaurant. And then suddenly colleges are shut down. The quarantine happens. You don't have a drive-through, which, those restaurants with drive-throughs are extremely busy. So, that's the kind of the dire picture. So let's talk about solutions. But first, tell me about mindset. I know that I think you were in Colorado or somewhere else. You came back. You had to go into quarantine. So I know that feeling. Like my team are off site right now. We're on quarantine. You can't get to your baby. You're trying to figure it out. And the misconception that business owners have just a big stockpile of cash and in the back room are like, we'll open back up this summer. Give me a mindset of what, not the panic, but where were you at? And then help me think through those gears turning of, okay, that's okay. Here's how we're going to fix this right now.
Well, yeah. So several different angles on that. So we went to Colorado on a ski trip with the family, and there was a couple of counties that were supposedly hit hard. It was recommended to self quarantine, and so when we came back, we took that very seriously. Did that, and that was tough in and of itself. And then on top of the fact, not being able to go into my restaurant, having to stay away. Now, I will tell you one advantage of owning a restaurant is, especially since we can text in orders, is that we were able to continue to eat there. I would text in my order. I would roll up to the outside front door, and they would drop my food on my hood out of my request, and then as soon as they walked back into the door, then I'd grab my food, which is really handy. But yeah, quarantine, it was crazy. I mean, it's such a unique time. I mean, you could say the word crazy a million times and it wouldn't cover what we're going through right now. But as far as the restaurant is concerned, yeah, it's tough to be away because I love to be hands-on and involved. And actually what I've decided to do going forward is I've continued to stay away, unfortunately, just because we want to make sure and try to protect everybody that we can. And so if we have an issue where an employee maybe is exposed to it or maybe gets it, then I've kind of still quarantined from them. And then I can go in and pick things up where we've left off, if need be, do whatever the health department asks us to do, and keep trudging on.
Right.
But yeah, it's tough. I mean, we've had to definitely just change our business model. Car hops are back, and
right.
It's been an interesting turn of events because my employees didn't ever think they were going to be car hops, because that's not what our standard service is.
I think a lot of us had to adjust pretty significantly in order just to stay relevant right now and survive. And tell me, how do you respond? And we'll keep this positive, but what kind of support have you received from the community? I'll give a plug for our nwasopen.com that we set up just to help with some communication. Yeah. And I'll say the overwhelming support of the community has been amazing. There's one or two that really come and criticize you. Why are you open right now? We got some, not death threats, but the blood of this area is on our hands because we have a collaboration tool for businesses to talk about staying open. That's the minority. The majority is very positive. But what are you doing right now to give confidence to the customers in the community that we're doing things the right way, we are safe? What kind of support have you had from the community today?
Yeah, so I'll start with the support from the community. The chamber's been doing some things to share who's been open. There's another page I'll give a shout out to called What's Up Siloam that's been sharing all of our stuff. And we've had some questions and comments from our guests on Facebook, asking what steps are we taking. We're sanitizing more than we normally do. But honestly, here's the thing, and I'm willing to say this out loud now because it's a little more socially acceptable. But in the past, I wouldn't proclaim my OCD because I am a germaphobe. but right now I feel kind of normal, to be honest.
That's awesome.
And so that relates down to my restaurant, down to my team. They know that we're very serious about hand washing, about proper glove usage. I was just in a drive-through at another restaurant the other day, and looking through the window of that restaurant and seeing the way the team was handling gloves, the way they were mishandling things it just kills me to see that. And those kind of things just have never happened in my restaurant. And I have an awesome manager, Julie. Shout out to Julie. She's amazing. She's just as OCD as I am, and she keeps on top of the team. Of course they make mistakes, but because we've practiced this for so long, we talk about on a regular basis, just to new hires, how do you itch your face when you're on the production line? You don't do it with your gloves on,
right.
And then go right back to making food.
Right.
So those kind of things were pretty seamless for us because we already do a lot of those things. But yeah, we're doing some extra sanitizing of door handles and bathrooms and countertops. But for the most part, it's just been real seamless for us in that aspect.
Justin, we got a couple minutes left. I want to know, what's your mindset right now? What does the landscape look for you? I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty, obviously, for a lot of us. And the first priority is we want, obviously, our people and our country to be safe. That's without question. As entrepreneurs, we still have to, though, look at our team and our employees and keeping them going, and that's part of the community. I'm one of them. I employ people in this community too. And that is really top of mind. It's the kind of thing that keeps us up at night to figure out. That's what our job is and the role we have. There's great reward, there's great responsibility, and there's great risk. What is your mindset right now about what the future looks like, and just in general? Like, what does it look like? What are some other opportunities? There's a lot of opportunity out there too.
Yeah, so let me touch on one point there before I go into the future. One thing also about people being mad for people not staying home, or mad at why businesses are staying open, et cetera. Well, you know what? Unfortunately, the government has promised a lot of things. I've applied for a lot of the government grants and haven't heard a thing. In fact, I've already heard that the money is drying up.
Right.
And like you said, people always think that business owners are rich and they're able to just kind of sit back on their laurels and do whatever they want. Well, we're not. And I can't afford to just pay employees to stay home. And that's a big concern, because I've got 15 people that count on me to make the wheels go round and to continue making it move. And so that is a big concern of mine, is to take care of my people, of course. And so I wanted to touch on that point, because the government is not doing the things that they're promising nearly as quickly as they said it's going to happen. And I'm concerned if it's going to happen at all.
Well, and a lot of it's already gone. I was talking with one of our business attorneys in another market that we work in, Atlanta, and was saying that first round that we had all applied for had already been depleted pretty quickly. And, as our business, we were just kind of waiting to hear. And we didn't know it was even gone yet. So, some of that money's been dispersed, but not always to the small business like you think.
Right. And so, but moving forward, the future, I honestly, I'm an eternal optimist. And I see, this being different than the 2008 crash, just for the simple fact that businesses are all still intact. It wasn't like, that where the housing market crashed. And I think, unfortunately, there has been a lot of people lose their jobs in other parts of the country. I think that the Midwest has not gotten hit quite as hard as the East and West Coast. But I think we're going to bounce back, and we're going to be bigger and better than ever. All of us, not just us. And so I'm very optimistic about that. And I just look forward to the time where we've flattened the curve, and hopefully reopen, 100%, and are able to. I think that it's going to change things for at least a year. Social distancing and things like that are going to continue to be a thing. But I think that as soon as we get back open for business, I think people are going to be itching to get out. And hopefully that most of the people around us are still going to have their job. That's the biggest concern.
Well, give us we've got a few seconds left. Give us a plug give us your address. How can people reach out to you and learn more about you, and then be a patron of your restaurant right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're on the way to downtown Siloam Springs, on Tulsa Street, 111 West Tulsa Street. And our phone number is 479-524-3211. And you can, like I said, you can text in, you can call in your order, and then we just ask for what vehicle you're in. We keep an eye out for you, curbside service from the comfort of your own vehicle, and we'll take care of you.
Awesome. Jacob, thank you so much. Jacob, the owner of Barnett's in Siloam Springs. Hey, just before we go to break, I want to just encourage everybody today to think of somebody in your life and think of a leader who might need your encouragement. I realized that this week, as we're trying to encourage others and working through things, and we're busy trying to solve the world's problems each in our own lives, a parent, an older sibling, a leader, a boss, they might need your encouragement right now more than ever. We don't always think of sending them a note. Grab your phone, send them a quick video. I've done that this morning, and it was amazing, the response that I got of people you might not think need to hear that. And a few people sent that to me unexpectedly, and about put a tear in my eye, because it just that empathy goes a long way. And I've been saying that empathy is the currency right now in our nation right now. It's all about that relational. We all can relate to each other on the same wavelength right now. No matter who we are, we can just jump on a call or see the person, and we immediately have this. We're all in the same mindset. So I want to encourage you to do that, and I'd love to hear the responses that you get. Jacob, again, thank you so much, and we look forward to visiting your restaurant. Join us for the Business Leadership Series, where we sit down with leaders who are making an impact on their worlds. I'm your host, Eric Champagne.
The most important thing for anybody who wants to start out on their own is do the work.
A leader can't always be shoveling muck and mud.
Never underestimate the people in your community around you.
We're not learning these lessons, and these lessons are becoming painful because of poor operational security.
You don't really know anything as an entrepreneur until you actually get your product out there, so it can just be ripped apart.
Join us Sundays on this station at 9 a.m.